The race has started behind the safety car. The race has started behind the safety car.
So Simon Pagenaud flags away the field behind the safety car.
Remind drivers, we have a flag being waved on driver's right at track level. We have a flag being waved at driver's right at track level.
So the unread message there is, please don't run him over. Just be cautious as you're pulling off the grid.
The important detail point there, by the way, from Eduardo, is the race has started. This is not formation laps. We're into the race immediately.
So your 1 hour 45 minutes of minimum driver time for a bronze driver or a silver driver starts now, and that's why most of the LMGT3 teams would, all bar one, I think you said, Graham, starting with those bronze drivers.
It's Clemens Schmidt there in the 87 car. Had a bit of a torrid time yesterday, the second of the Acotis ASP Lexus. But it will be Clemens, who's been brilliant in that car this season. Real turnaround from the Lexus squad. Now we start to get, gentlemen, the first real opportunity to see what the track conditions really are like. And a trouble for the 20 BMW. Now, what's that about? That does not look to be a spin. He's just pulling to one side.
Now, the brake lights, the rear lights are flashing. That's a slight worry, isn't it? Is that him cycling through a power cycle?
That's turn 2.
Has water got in the gubbins? Team manager of Peugeot number 93 being summoned to race control. I was just about to say, we have no further data. It's a green light on the car rather than a red light, so it's at the moment not in a hybrid fail. Now, whole hypercar field pit stops.
Pretty much. Just looking now, who's the Alpine number 36 has stayed out.
That 12 has stopped though and got overtaken by the Toyota in the process.
They are all driving through the pit lane, and so is the safety car in the middle of that queue. Or is that the medical car that was out? Yeah, second safety car. Interesting. Now, assuming that all the teams were told to follow the safety car through the pit lane, then the 36 Alpine didn't, or nobody was told, but they followed the safety car into the pit lane thinking, I'm going to follow the safety car, and the 36 Alpine was told not to.
Well, I think we're going to find out pretty soon. What I can tell you is the rather extraordinary result of all this is that currently the 95 car sits third overall, and that's in the GT3 car.
Information to pit lane. There was a mishappening on the radio comms with the safety cars. On the switch of the safety cars, there was a mishap. We're going to slow the safety cars. We're going to slow the safety cars, and we are going to reinstate the order of the cars.
And we've got a red flag. That's, I think that's the answer.
Yes.
I think what we're going to see is this reset to the lap before that happened.
Now, this is just about as the potential break in the weather arrives, which we will then enjoy during the red flag, and it will rain more heavily just as we're about to restart the race, quite possibly, because that's the way luck works.
Can tell you that just about everybody at United Autosports at the moment is frantically taking pictures of the timing screen for the press release later. All cars to park on the left, unfortunately, just after some of the cars have parked on the right. Yes. So I think we're going to see a bit more of a reshuffle.
Darren Leung has just picked up a spot.
Yeah, Darren says, I'm up for this, I'm third.
He's gone from third to second.
Quick, take a picture. Up the inside of the Ferrari.
I think they had to red flag this just to get the cars back into position.
I think you're right. I think you're absolutely right.
There's no other way in doing it.
Well, they could have got them to pull over on the straight and drop back easily.
Well, too many cars. And
the problem is there were too many variables because we had some hypercars that had pit stops. Yeah. So it needs to be reset to the lap before the problem happened.
Rain is heavier than 10-11. Standing water's increased. Whatever reason, I don't know why.
All right, well, whatever it is, we are green in Texas for the very first time. Phil Hansen leads the field across the line, and Anthony, is probably the only man who's got a half-decent view of where he's going.
Exactly, it's such an advantage to have that clear line of sight as the Proton 99 car.
Verone up the inside of the 50 car of Nick Nielsen.
That's the thing with turn one. It's a it's very inviting to send one down the inside because it's such the track fans out, and it's that's exactly what happened there. But you run out of room on the exit, and there's the 93 Peugeot still out of position from that earlier pit stop, working his way through the GT cars through turn 2.
But that's massively helped him, that safety car period, hasn't it, to reduce the damage, if you like, from that earlier pit stop. Just Darren Leung to deal with the 93, but it's a feisty pack here.
009 Aston Martin, Alex Riberas there,
made
right
up a
behind
place.
him.
He's made up a place. He's overtaken the BMW P8 now. They were P9.
There's still potential penalty for Jean-Eric Verne.
Move down the inside. Number 5, is that? 5 Porsche. Yeah, down at turn 11.
Julian Andlau, of course, had the spin behind the safety car. Car 93, quite correct, gets a drive-through penalty, exiting the pit lane with a red light.
Andlau flying down the hill there, going by Fred Makovici in the Alpine. Quite comfortably there.
I think that was a case of driver being a bit more brave, but he's locking up down the inside to turn 12.
We also saw the Aston Martin has gone by the number 8 Toyota down the straight as well. 009 is now up to 7th place.
Well, we heard a lot of drivers complaining about aquaplaning even under the safety car, and it looked to me like Andlau had just had the confidence as he goes for another move down the inside. This time, car 94, he's on a mission. But he had the confidence to keep his foot down and live with that level of aquaplaning. That's how he just streamed past the Alpine.
Goes by Loic Duval. Loic on the outside line there. They might be just as grippy as the normal racing line, and visibility not that great as you see on board in the 94 Peugeot. There's a lot of spray, Anthony, but that means it's helping to dry the track a little as he runs out very wide.
Yeah, the camera, as we heard from one of the drivers before, doesn't quite tell the true story, always makes it look slightly worse than what the human eye can see through the screen, but it is still pretty poor visibility, but they're getting on okay.
You can see the 007 Aston right up behind Loic Duval's Peugeot and the Alpine of Fred Makovici as well. And watch the progress now. 009 Alex Riberas in 6th position. He's just gone by Ferdy Habsburg. What's he had for breakfast?
Look at this, we're getting stuck in as well. Tom Gamble in the 007 through turn 3, 4, over the curb still in these conditions, and the car in front sliding all around the Alpine.
There are some camera shots that make you want to be a racing driver. That's one that makes you not want to be a racing driver.
It looks like great fun. I'd love to be out there right now. It looks brilliant.
Off wide, number 15. Alpine into the wall, and that's 007 as well. Tom Gamble just tags the wall. It's 36 that's gone off hard, and that's Fred Makovici. He's lost the rear end, and Tom Gamble is stationary, not moving at the moment.
Yeah, turn 2 was one of those corners where I think it was Habsburg saying that the track was getting pretty treacherous when we had the heavier rainfall earlier on. And
that's the wheel cover from the stricken Alpine that's come astray and is now, well, classified as debris, I'm afraid. Through come the LMGT3 leaders. No change in the top order there, but it's the 007 Aston Martin off track.
I wonder if there was contact at all, or if they just both hit standing water in the same place offline. That's what remains of the Alpine, shedding bits as it heads back towards the pit lane. As Tom Gamble moves safety car.
Yeah, that's not a surprise.
No.
Barrier damage, I think, as well. We'll need to be taking a look at there.
yeah, just aquaplaned.
Yeah, just swapped ends on him.
So that's exactly what happened to the Alpine as well. Just that extra bit of rainfall that we had, and there's not much. This is what it looked like on board the Alpine. Yeah, just and the Aston's going off just in front of him, so not really anything he can do. And from a driver's point of view, many of them getting, and the Toyota ran wide as well. The Peugeot a few cars back, also running wide. The problem is it's in a natural dip as you barrel down the hill from turn 1. It then goes uphill again after turn 2, so it's that dip that's causing the standing water.
The BMW just got away with that by the skin of his teeth, didn't it? 15. Otherwise, that might have been a double retirement for BMW for the second race in a row, and that's bits of Alpine flying off. Who's in 60? The Corvette, Andrew Gilbert. Yeah, bit of debris coming towards him in the Mercedes. Well, safety car is out and the rain was getting heavier. It might have been survivable at racing speeds. I don't think it looks very survivable at safety car speeds. Let's hear from the Alpine team.
Steering is straight. Car seems to be okay, but probably a wing and transmitter are damaged.
Okay.
There's a bit of damage at Alpine in the road. I think the Aston probably came past the pit lane so they could have a look at it.
Yeah, just to clarify, he can come in for safety critical repair, but when this race goes back to green, he must pit again immediately.
We go back to green as Phil Hansen in the yellow 83 Ferrari leads the field across the line, being chased by James Collado, the championship leader, chasing second place in the points. Look at the Porsche up the inside, though, Anthony Davidson. Lawrence Vanthoor was having a little look, but is he going to lose grounds to the 50 Ferrari? Nick Nielsen tries to go around the outside, and there's now maybe having a look down the hill into turn 2, 3.
And they're going to take this corner with a lot more caution because they're aware of the aquaplaning cars from beforehand. The front runners at least get through there unscathed on this opening lap after that last safety car. But yeah, Vanthoor holding on to that position, that threat from Nielsen. He went for the wider line into turn 1 to cut back on the inside, but couldn't carry the speed through turn 2. So nothing changes there.
Now, the only car that has retired in the first 2.25 hours is the number 20 BMW that had a hybrid issue, and that's stopped during the previous safety car period. The two cars that went off, which were the 36 Alpine and 007 Aston Martin, both have rejoined. Up the inside and skating off at the hairpin comes the number 8 Toyota.
Yeah, Brendan Hartley is going for a move there and actually gets overtaken by Nick de Vries, now the sister car. So they're down in 11th and 12th, the two Toyotas. Error there from Brendan Hartley. I think he was going on a move down the inside. Was it one of the Alpines?
There's the 36 Alpine, and that 35 Alpine rather, moving up, trying to stay in front of the 94 Peugeot of Loic Duval. So Duval in the white Peugeot with the yellow highlights was trying to go around the outside. Don't forget, the other Alpine, car number 36, now we have gone back to green, must pit because they made an emergency pit stop behind the safety car when the pits were closed. The 007 Aston Martin did not, and so does not have to stop again.
Loic Duval looking good here, slices down the inside of the Alpine midway through that triple right-hander. He's certainly got the grip at this point. The high-speed stuff's what it's all about. And speaking of which, Bamber's having another go here, right up the back of Habsburg's Alpine, and now he's on the inside. He's got a better chance. He's getting squeezed though a little bit as they head towards the apex. Who's it going to be on the exit? It's Bamber, so he's finally got his man, and now he can focus forwards on the next car in front of him. That will be the number 7 Toyota Gazoo Racing of Nick de Vries.
What about the Aston Martins? Well, 009, Alex Riberas in the Valkyrie is still in the top 6 as battle for position for 9th place. Nick de Vries in the black Toyota and Earl Bamber in the gold Cadillac, side by side into turn 1.
That comes after Earl Bamber's just put the fastest lap of the race in 2:08.674. The other Aston Martin now a second note to this effect, rain lights to be turned on. This is the car that was involved in that double, triple cars off the road, aquaplaning off track, has had a rear clip change and may well be a connection problem with that new component.
I'm sure Harry Tingle is trying to switch the lights on. Meanwhile, the Toyota and the Cadillac battling for position, work their way past one of the LMGT3 Ferraris.
Yeah, Bamber, that was an important move to get through the inside there of the Ferrari GT car before turn 10. That's allowed him to focus on the back of Nick de Vries and the Toyota as he heads down the back straight here, pulls to the left-hand side. He's got more straight line speed and out drags the Toyota down towards the next braking zone.
Yeah, good traction out of the hairpin there, didn't he? That's been a very happy hunting ground for the Cadillac. So moving up the order, Earl Bamber up to 9th place now. And here comes Riberas in the 009. Started 9th, now back down to 9th place.
And he's got Nick de Vries right with him.
Yeah, de Vries has been closing in ever since this went green. He goes by 27, the heart of racing Aston Martin. That is still the battle for 6th position, 6th, 7th, 8th in LMGT3.
Yeah, there's one thing getting the wet tyres up to temperature in the total wet conditions. There's another thing though, and most of the places will be gained and lost if the track continues to become damp instead of fully wet, because yeah, an overheating tyre in these conditions is going to hemorrhage lap time.
And Phil Hansen over the curbs, and over the curbs here as well. That is just costing him time against Yafei.
Ready to go though, so we're not far away from the end of Phil Hansen's time in the car.
So Colado's just assessing where he might be faster on track and seeing where, if they come up to another gaggle of traffic, cars in the traffic, where he can maybe get past Hansen.
Well, they're
only starting to show with Hansen feeling the pressure, running off wide out of turn 19.
I'm struggling. I can't see anything.
Yes, that's the problem. The closer you get to the car in front, then the visibility starts to get worse. So Hansen's got that advantage, at least on his side.
But he's inside the cockpit. The Ricardo Pera in the Porsche moves up ahead of Valentino Rossi.
It was minor contact there. Rossi's back ahead of the Porsche. There was just minor contact, I think, between the two. Clear that James Collado is looking for a way back by. Talked about the visibility issue here. Let's not forget, gentlemen, this is a battle for the World Championship, the World Drivers' Championship. These are the two leading crews in the Drivers' World Championship in the wrong order.
And they're 11 points apart, and were they to finish like this, they would be 4 points apart at the end of the race, with 51 still in front. So this is a really, as we heard earlier, could well potentially be a championship deciding or affecting race, particularly if one of them or the other goes off in a big way. They've still got over 45% energy left in both cars, so we are not due a pit stop yet.
Collado sniffs a chance here. That was a big mistake on the same sector from last lap, and now gets flashed as well. And Collado gets by here.
He's let him go, I think. I think he's let him go at that point.
I think he did have to lift off there, didn't he? So I don't know if that was team orders or not, but yeah.
Grip, maybe the grip's gone away and he's feeling he's having to overdrive to maintain that position, but that was easy for James Collado eventually. Cracking stuff there though from Phil Hansen to start the restart the race.
And Anthony, this is where the team have to make an educated decision over whether they stay out and continue to lose time, or whether they pit him out of sequence and new tyres and new drive.
Yeah, Hansen's really starting to struggle with the rear tyres here. He's overheated them, they've overcooked. We said it before that they were going into uncharted territory with this race today, never having driven in these conditions, and Hansen hit the ground running really quickly. We see a change of positions here.
Yeah, change for third. The two United Autosport McLaren, Sebastian Boe, and side by side with Sean Gelael, and right behind them is Rahul Fry in the Iron Dames Porsche.
But yeah, Hansen, going back to him, he's going to have to pit soon, because of tyre wear, I feel. He's going to be dropping back like a stone if he can't get on top of this tyre overheating or just the wear. And it's the same story for Riberas in the 009 Aston Martin. He's now down in 11th place.
Yeah. And so you're losing time. You're going to lose time in the pit lane, but then you'll lose more by just staying out. At some stage you have to go for it. This is Rahul Fry having a look at the back of Sean Gelael in that second McLaren. You just saw that Sebastian Boe had gone by him. And here comes the battle behind. Valentino Rossi again, ahead of Ricardo Pera. Pera on the inside, bounces over the curb. This is close stuff again for 6th position.
That's it.
On board with Ricardo Pera. Here's the view down the long back straight, over a kilometre here, just adjusting down the inside. Rahul Fry goes by as well, so she passes Sean Gelael. She's up to 4th in the Iron Dames Porsche. Little ripple of applause there. You can see the two starting drivers in the Manthey cars. Celia Martin alongside her.
It's looking at the windscreen wiper usage here. Yeah, look at this on board with Sean Galeo.
Has he not got a wiper?
No, he has. He's just the odd flick with the wiper. It's the other car, the 59 car. I've not seen that wiper in play at all. When you get the in-car from that car, the visibility is absolutely awful.
Valentino Rossi on the inside, around the outside, Ricardo Pera. Oh, and it cuts back to the inside. He's still there. That's brave stuff.
Battle of the Silvers here. Cracking stuff between these two.
Yeah, it was good. I mean, it's difficult to stay on track in these conditions, and good respect between those two drivers as well. So great racing. What's going to happen as they head down towards turn 1, though? It's Rossi with the advantage. Looks like the BMW's got slightly more straight line speed as well. So he's got that covered into 1.
Don't forget 92, that turquoise car is our championship leader.
But he's carrying success balanced as a result.
Oh,
trouble for the 8.
Yeah, big mistake from Brendan Hartley. He's looped it round on the curbs.
Turn 6.
Looks like he didn't hit anything.
So that's the second off we've seen from Brendan. Oh, wow, that's a high-speed spin, isn't it, there? The first one we saw was the braking down towards turn 11, but how did this happen? He's riding on board, out of line at this point. Yeah, he just got he was a bit out of sync with having followed the Aston Martin through there, and he just got himself onto the wet stuff.
I feel like we are still quite low on tire pressure. I start to have a little bit of instability on the trail braking phase, like 13th.
So good feedback from the team there. Doesn't sound too overly concerned with the tyre wearers. That's
big
a
spin
big off there
from Nico Varone, and he's in the gravel. Now, yeah,
Beached.
Unfortunately, when you reverse in, as soon as you select first gear, you just dig a hole. And that might well be bringing out a safety car.
That's from 5th place for Nico Varone. That's what's been an impressive weekend to that point.
A real shame for Nico Varone. Meanwhile, Rahel Frey around the outside for 3rd. Doesn't get it. Can she cut back underneath? She's going to have to go the long way around the outside. We saw Valentino Rossi and Ricardo Pera do the same side by each through these triple right-hand corners, 16, 17, 18.
There's a Peugeot behind as well that's going to be trouble for both of these cars, but Rahel Frey looking feisty here. Pretty convinced that there's no working wiper on that McLaren, by the way.
Well, it's okay as long as he's in clear air and travelling at speed. The slower he goes, the more of an issue that's going to be. Proton 77, their Mustang leading the field from the 81 of TF Sport. So Bernardo Souza in front, Tom Van Rompuy 2nd. Still bronze-graded drivers. Everybody else has moved on to their silvers, apart from the 87 Lexus that is running last.
As we rode on board with the works car, and actually it almost caught out Van Toor as well.
Yeah, whatever little puddle had migrated onto that apex caught out Nico Varone. And sometimes, Nancy, it's that split second of advance warning as somebody goes off in front of you that saves you. So yet to stop, Earl Bamber 38 and Loic Duval in 94 Peugeot.
He's had to go nose in the car 83. Hansen's nose in, so that's going to cost them even more time as they have to square the car up before they can get on with the rest of the pit stop.
Yeah, that's a good 5 seconds lost, 6 seconds lost, 7 seconds lost, 8 seconds lost.
And you can't be over that yellow line as well, so...
And of course, ironically, they had to come round another AF Corsa Ferrari, and they are not in the right place. This is an absolute nightmare of a pit stop.
This is going to cost position for the 83 car. 51 goes, and 83's not even started the process of fueling cars and changing tyres.
That's 30 seconds at the very least.
It's a phrase you don't like. There are championship implications for this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's really is inexcusable because you have to practice a nose-in pit stop. They're here for a long time, all week, rehearsing the pit stops, all the different scenarios, nose changes, rear end changes, and that is one of the things you have to practice. So to not put the car into the right box, into the right position before you do your driver change, it's in many ways inexcusable.
And what that's meant is the number 6 Porsche is through and into 2nd place now. Now the number 83 car rolls, but has dropped back here to at least 5th place.
We are back to green flag racing, and after the pit stops, It is Phil Hansen, the 83 Ferrari, down in 5th place, but it is still 51s that lead. Antonio Giovinazzi is the race leader.
He's been chased here and chased hard by Matt Campbell in the number 6 Penske Porsche.
Battle for third behind under the top of the hill, Mathieu Jaminet in the number 5 Porsche trying to go by Antonio Fuoco. So we've got Ferrari being chased by Porsche for first and third. The official attendance, 66,217 damp souls watching the action. Hopefully they'll get a bit more racing bang for their buck as the Porsche, Matt Campbell, hits standing water and has a big get out of jail. Anthony Davidson still very wet on the track. It's barely stopped raining at all since they went to the grid nearly 4 hours ago.
Yeah, this is arguably worse conditions than the last safety car that we had when they were let loose in green conditions. So they're really got their eyes on stalks, and most of them, don't forget, fresh drivers in as well for good measure. So Matt Campbell pushed on hard through the first sector and learned the lesson immediately. If you go off onto the wet stuff, as we see here, the Aston Martin doing exactly that.
And it's still Alex Riberas in that car, because don't forget, the 2 Aston Martins are 2 driver lineups this weekend, so they have to do half the race each.
Watch as well in these conditions with the field this close together. Remember, the LMGT3 cars have ABS. Some of the corner speeds, as we saw in qualifying and free practice yesterday, are not far apart. Bit of it's a bit of big rivalry for the 2 American brands, Ford and Chevy, side by side, as the Toyota Hirakawa tries to get by the pair of them.
Yeah, that door was rapidly shutting in front of Rio Hirakawa. I'm not sure how he got himself out of that hole. I think he was looking to pass both of them, and then they suddenly became 2 cars wide.
See Jack a little later in this race. I mean, he's raced both Lexus this season.
Is Sebastian Bourdais going slowly here?
No, it's just the conditions, and that's what caught out Campbell. Yeah, it's exactly, that's the reason why it looked like he was going slowly. Hirakawa spinning in exactly the same part of the circuit, gets going again, but his teammate Buemi watches on.
I think he was, I was just about to say, I think that was contact with the GT3 car.
That's the problem if you find yourself in amongst them. It's they can carry similar speeds in these conditions around corners like that.
And that was the Mustang-Corvette battle that we were watching. It's not actually for position. The Corvettes in LMGT3 are 16th and 17th. So it was not for position.
Not really much that Hirakawa could have done there.
Sorry, don't know what happened.
GT hit from behind.
Yeah, I've got to blame the GT car there. Just went for a gap that wasn't really there. Visibility is so poor anyway. Nothing that Hirakawa could have done. Yeah, it really, I mean, that's the part of the track where we saw the 99 Porsche spin around before, and this is proper treacherous conditions, and he sniffs a chance of getting by Hirakawa here.
There's been another positional change, by the way, a little further up. It's the other Toyota dropping back behind the 009 Aston Martin for 8th position. So Alex Riberas gets back by Jose Maria Lopez.
I think that suggests it might be getting wetter and wetter, and the BMW on the inside doesn't quite get through.
Yeah, Marcello looks like he's got the speed here at this point over car number 8.
Currently a battle for 14th place.
The problem is, on this part of the track, there's a contact there between 2 GTs, but the GTs are faster than the hypercars on that part of the circuit. It's too much standing water.
Yeah, Zach Robichon out and back on again. On board with Robichon. A little too much curb.
It's just so wet there, isn't it? I mean, the visibility is terrible as well.
And the view as he spun is cars, cars, cars.
This is a battle for survival, isn't it, right now?
Yeah, it really is. Yeah, that's Paulo Chatin in the 35 Alpine and Paul de Resta in the 93. That was just the Toyota. Is that Hirakawa just flashed past through turn 13, still recovering his way through the GT field.
And this is such a tough battle. It's to and fro all the way through this GT field from 1st to 10th. and the hypercar's got to try and negotiate a gap in it somewhere. The GT cars don't see them coming. They can't see the yellow for the blue flags probably either. We're seeing here 54
on the 27.
Around the outside of turn 8 through turn 9. That was a nice move there.
That's Francesco Castellacci on Zach Robichon.
He's their pro driver. So the 54 Ferrari team have gone to, in fact, he's their silver driver, so same grade as Zach Robichon. Davide Rigon waiting to get in. It is definitely raining harder. Visibility is getting worse. The track is getting wetter.
But Giovinazzi out in front, pulling away 3.4 seconds now. The advantage over Matt Campbell's car number 6 Porsche.
And interestingly, Fuoco in the third place Ferrari is not catching Campbell. So this is the pace from the leader that's making the difference right now.
They're all doing 2:19s, so they're within half a second of each other on the last lap.
I think car 7's had a problem.
Huge spin! That's the Cadillac.
That's Bourdais, isn't
it? Yeah, because it was right in front of the Aston.
And just before him, I saw the double yellows at turn 7. That is for car number 7. So, yeah, Jose Maria Lopez had a problem as well in the S's.
He's recovered and is back underway.
This is what it looked like for Bourdais. Oh, it's just the aquaplane, too much standing water through turn 10. Round and round it goes. And somewhere in that blur, I think I saw the Aston Martin just pop through as well. So this is Jose Maria Lopez, curb on the inside. That was enough to spin him around.
This is what we learned from the Mustang race, isn't it? Stay off the paint. And again, trying to rejoin in the thick of the action, knowing that everybody else's visibility is greatly reduced. That's a heart-in-the-mouth moment. Bourdais had a big one there. The Aston Martin went flying straight by him.
Yeah, we've got a group, haven't we, the back of this hypercar field, all of which have had problems of the rotational nature.
Look at this, look at the fight going on with the steering wheel. Look at Michael Power's just off momentarily. That gives Marcello a chance, but it's super slow-mo stuff. And he spins.
Marcello wasn't even touching the throttle. He was just holding that. That's so hard. He didn't accelerate, he didn't push the throttle, he was just trying to survive it.
Maybe I said, didn't I, like, watch the hand movements on the wheel, and they're both wrestling their cars for all they're worth, but he was just trying to carry too much speed, was Marcello, on the exit of that the triple right-hander.
Now Nico Varone in the Porsche here might go by, and the team will say, let him go, he's a lap behind you. That's not for position.
Absolutely.
Don't fight him. You're fighting the weather, you're not fighting the 99.
There's a moment, yes, so the replay where Marcello's just barely on throttle and just finds the wetter part of the track on the inside in a desperate attempt to try and get by the slower moving Toyota.
Marcello says the car keeps cutting. So exactly as they were suggesting, the wetter, the better for those Mercedes. 21 versus 46. This is Ferrari a long way off the pace of Simon Mann. Valentino Rossi going by him. That's a change for 13.
But, yeah, as the conditions continuing to improve...
You look at it, it looks like a rainy November, and round goes to 5, and that's exactly what we're just talking about. Mathieu Jaminet, who have been right up there with the Ferrari, and that's going to drop him seconds back. It's not, I don't think, going to quite drop him into the clutches of the 83 car, but that's what it takes.
Watch this, this is the exit of turn 9, just getting on the wet stuff. You could see the dry or the damp line, the train tracks of where the rubber lines have been, or where the tyres have been, and he just got himself off of those train tracks onto the wetter stuff, and around it went. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, I was about to use the phrase risk versus reward. It didn't look like he was taking that much of a risk, and yet.
Rossi's driving really well in these conditions.
Doing great.
Yeah, really homing in on the sister car there. It's just a matter of trying to find a way by. It's more about, I think, waiting for your opponent to make a mistake, because overtaking when you've got this condition with, you can clearly see there's more of a damp line appearing where the car, and exactly that, but Rossi sends it down the inside. Nice late braking, but the invite was there as his teammate went a bit too wide.
The pair of them were very much on the edge. It's an awful lot of opposite lock there from Valet to actually just save driving into the sister car, then save the corner, then make the pass.
Once again, Barrichello sends it down the inside into the final corner. Can he keep the momentum this time before they head down the main straight once again? I think he has. If he keeps his nose there and then really focuses, gets the car onto that damp line for the braking, that will pay dividends. He's got to send it this time and make sure he's ahead on the exit. I think he's done it, and he has. The Ford crosses the line on the exit. I don't think it's going to be enough. Finally, he gets the position he's been looking for the last 2 or 3 laps.
And learned the lesson from where to put the car last time around.
He was closing in on Castellacci, but he's now got stuck behind the Ferrari, and again off is the number 7 Toyota. This is Jose Maria Lopez. That time got out of the gravel and spread some more around for everybody else on board. Ant.
This is how it happens. That's turn 3. Yeah, spins all the way through. Does he hit the barrier? No, I think he just about manages to stay away from it.
See how misty
Wow.
the windscreen is as well.
It's what it is. I've had this happen before. It's the rubber from the blade leaving itself on the screen, on the tear-offs.
Oh, again, number 7 Toyota is off for a second time in this lap, Pachito. And is he going to get stuck there? Change of position, meanwhile in LMGT3, as Barrichello has gone by Castellacci and stays in front as he shuts the door up the steep hill to turn 1.
Yeah, another quiet phase of the race in LMGT3, he said with his tongue firmly in his cheek. Mike, this is a massive test for your Goodyear Wets as we keep an eye on the number 7 Toyota.
Yeah, it is. I mean, obviously it's what we developed the tyres for these types of conditions, and you're seeing very big differences in strategy of what people are doing on the tyres so far.
It's just a replay of the second of the 2 rapid-fire incidents for the number 7 Toyota.
He's
watch the front tyres spin up. He didn't quite see that, but
No,
he couldn't get any further than the position. He's now beached in. We are going to go to virtual safety car.
Yeah. And now it's not so much heat in the tyres at turn 1, but it's going to be heat in the brakes, and a lunge from Estra on the inside, really trying to get a run on Alessandro Pierguidi in the lead Ferrari, with Miguel Molina in third, and he's defending against Michael Christensen.
Yeah, look at Kevin Estra. Keep an eye on him into turn 1. He's going for it, isn't he? He's sending it down the inside. Pierguidi's not going to give up, though. Round the outside he goes. There's contact between the two of them, and Estra gets through. Amazing stuff.
Max Verstappen, Lando Norris, eat your heart out. They kept it between the white lines, and Kevin Estra right from the get-go. That's what happens when you come into the booth, and there's... We said, did Molina just get by? Yes, he does now, because off has gone Alessandro Pierguidi.
Does he have a puncture?
Come back on. Left front puncture, or is it a loose wheel?
It looks like a puncture, because there was contact, wasn't there, between the 2 cars.
He is sitting down on that left front.
It would make sense.
Championship leader.
Yeah, he can't make it through the right-hand corners, can he? It's because of that contact on the exit. Oh, and he's contacted the 83.
Yep, and through comes the Toyota. Now that's not for position. The Toyota is a long way back, a lap behind. But the 83, I think, got through unscathed. There he is.
Lost a bit of ground with that minor contact, so the Toyota right with him, as is the LMGT3 leader, who's lost absolutely nothing to them in Sector 1.
And they'll be looking at this as well.
And then, I mean, that was a bit of contact there as well. Surely, let's see it from the other view. Yeah.
Yes, he did.
Well, but that's obviously not what gave the left front puncture, is what happened in turn 1.
But apart from anything else, you're not allowed to pass or be even overlapping the car in front before the start-finish line. So Kevin Estra maybe a little bit caught out by the Ferrari not accelerating where he expected to, but he certainly made the most of it. And there's a little nudge on 51 and 83. Look at the guys immediately scrambling, ready for action. They've literally just sat down. And look how close they still are to number 5 Porsche of Michael Christensen and the 50 Ferrari of Miguel Molina. Those 2 cars, despite this battle, are not getting away.
But someone who is getting away is Kevin Estra. He's 8 seconds to the good now. This looks very good indeed. We had Kevin in the booth a little earlier. He will be back next time, won't he, as well? He seems to be a bit of a lucky talisman coming in here, but that is some performance from him.
He's in his absolute element, isn't he, Kevin Estra? He loves these conditions. Let's hear from Kubica.
We are much faster than the cars in front of us, and behind you is Lynn, Cadillac for position.
Little touch between Alex Lynn in the Cadillac and Robert Kubica. We're much faster than the cars in front. You just don't seem to be catching them. I got a slightly misleading radio message, and here's Alex. The Caddy does seem to have really good traction. We've seen it so many times. Out of that hairpin, down the straight, being able to really get by other cars.
He's good on the brakes as well, so he's going to utilise that down in towards turn 12. What does Kubica do? Does he go all the way to the inside? No, he doesn't. He leaves a gap open, and Lynn's going to go for this one. Last of the late breakers. He sends it down the inside, but Kubica is going to go for the overlap on the exit. No, Lynn's through.
It's not his fight. Alex Lynn is nowhere. The number 12 car is nowhere in the points. This isn't his fight either. Survive this. It's about what happens in an hour and 30 minutes, not what happens now.
They're on trouble for the 87 Lexus in the barrier.
And they've also just been handed a pit stop penalty as well for other issues. That was 78. The car of Ben Barnicoat, 87 in the barriers, back in the hands of Clement Schmidt.
And this is where, as you see, drivers getting ready, could be preparing for another virtual safety car, which will lead to a safety car, and that's exactly what car 51 would be praying for right now after their puncture earlier on. This is how it happened. Lost it on the exit, turn 19. And is that barrier damage? That sounded like pretty hefty.
I thought that sounded like gravel, and then clunk.
Well, we'll see in right now. There's a battle going on here. Lynn has found his way by the number 5 Porsche.
Great stuff, and that might be just in time. He's up to third. We might safety car, immediate safety car. Kevin Estre leading for Porsche Penske Motorsport. Miguel Molina right behind him in the number 50 Ferrari. Then the man on the move, potentially Alex Lynn in the number 12 Cadillac Hertz Team Jota entry. But Kevin Estre goes off like a scalded cat. Big advantage across the line. Miguel Molina was not close enough, did not go fast enough. Alex Lynn right behind him in third. Michael Christensen, the second Porsche, in fourth. And then in fifth position, 83, the yellow Ferrari up the inside. Here's the attack from the Aston Martin. And Harry Tincknell on the inside of Robert Kubica. Kubica, one of the least likely people to roll over and have his tummy tickled. So he fights him off. But that was a great lunge by the Aston driver.
Yeah, it really was. And once again, Tincknell using the might of the Aston Martin straight line speed up towards turn 1. Kubica just about hung on in there around the outside. But he doesn't quite look as comfortable, does Kubica, as he did in the damp conditions on the slicks in qualifying yesterday. And now further back, sorry Graham, further back you can see Buemi, who you mentioned earlier on. And let's watch in 10th position how he gets on.
I think he's 9th. I think he's gone by the second Peugeot. I think he's already made a move.
Yes,
has moved up a position. So Buemi is on the move.
Ooh, no, hang on. Here comes the Peugeot. No, Peugeot ahead of the Aston, and then Buemi is ahead of 93, so he's now up behind the 009 Aston Martin of Marco Sorensen. And the Aston's big hand here is speeding the straight line down the 1.2 kilometre straight. Is this a change for the lead?
Yes, it is.
It is a change for the lead, and it's coming back because here comes Ben Tuck in around the outside of Marino Sato in the United Autosport McLaren. They are level coming down into the braking area. Who's going to find the grip?
Oh, and massive contact, actually. A bit of the McLaren fell off in that process.
They build them Ford tough in the Mustang business. And he's still going around the outside, Ben Tuck.
Even more contact through turn 13, and that's getting a bit too much, isn't it?
They are slithering around all over the place.
So the Ford hangs on to that position for now, but I wonder if the stewards will be looking into all of that contact there.
They definitely will. Gregor Sosi with Richie Leitz behind him, the battle for third place behind this duo. So the two McLarens, second and third.
Yeah, that's Sosi having made the positional change on Leitz at the restart as well. So it's the Mustang, the two McLarens and the Porsche.
That was a slide, though, from 77 through 19, the penultimate corner, and he knows it. That's why he guards the inside for the final corner. And there's a swap there. It's going to be now a good run that he's got, as so say, down this first straight towards turn 1. He's going to be looking to the inside.
His problem is the speed of the Mustang in a straight line. Bends him off up the inside. The 15 BMW is going to put the Mustang offline. And here comes Sosi's chance. It's so often the faster car. The Mustang's going to have to go around the outside of the BMW.
this is the point of the race we were talking about before, when it was absolutely treacherous. We knew this was coming. We knew the rain was going to stop. All the engineers were saying it to their drivers. So as now we see battles unfolding between the McLaren and the Ferrari muscles its way through on the inside of turn 15.
Beautiful stuff from Davide Rigon, and he's looking to get back to Ben Tuck here to get Ferrari in a position to win this race. No doubt about it whatsoever. And with the Proton car having to have that driver change, that could be the critical moment.
And because probably more than anything, it's because the cars come alive in these conditions we haven't seen at all this weekend so far.
One critical move that we did not see, by the way, is a drive-through penalty taken by the 83 car that's dropped them down to 13th place and behind the 51 that is now up to 8th place.
Look at this, the 93, this is the 94, overtaking the car 5 Porsche, but is he going to swap back on the inside through 14? He does, but it's the Peugeots on the inside through 15. He's got the move done.
Wow.
Stoffel Van Dorn aboard this car.
We asked, when the track starts to dry, who's going to come out on top? We've got no clue, and the drier it gets, this might yet all still swap around in this final
The
hour.
only thing we do know is they're doing 2 minutes 6 lap times right now. A 1:51 is a pure dry lap time. So there's that crossover we're looking at.
Yeah, so Michael, with the track evolution, we might need to come back on certain things. Think about tools, bars. We are checking on our side 12 as well.
But he's making his way back up towards the top 10, but now losing points against the 51 car.
So this is the other Peugeot getting through the Michael Christensen car of car number 5. So yeah, both Peugeots. Yeah, there's Mikael Jensen. Both Peugeots flying in these conditions.
So what we're saying is, coming into the booth helped Kevin Estra, and into the pits comes 009. Coming into the booth has not helped Julian Andlauer's team, though, so...
Well, they must be looking on at the front there with an 8.5-second gap with Kevin Estra compared to Molina, and thinking, well, how are they doing it? How have they found the speed in the same machinery? Because we're going backwards.
On wet weather tyres in Hyperpole, what did 38 do? A 2-minute 3 and a 2-minute 3 and a 2-minute 5 for the Toyotas that were also on wets.
Look at this, a brand new set of wets looking.
We are getting very close. Yeah, they obviously don't think it's dry enough yet. 46 minutes. This should be their final stop for fuel.
Yes.
Now, Estra's making a well spin for Kubica.
This is not the final hour that the 83 crew wanted.
And he just got back into 10th place, into the points, with that pit stop from the 009.
He is still in 10th place. Now, was there contact? Meanwhile, contact, just a tiny touch between Pierre Guidi and Christensen. Let's take a look. 83, and that's the 27 Aston.
Ooh,
and the 31 BMW tagged him into a spin.
So it wasn't Kubica's fault, but he was right in the thick of it, wasn't he? Getting through the traffic, and the 31's trying to overtake the Aston, and actually, yeah, we've seen this happen before, haven't we? So the GT is embroiled in their own battle, thinks he's got the chance to overtake the harder racing Aston Martin in that corner, but Roberts in the way, and around he goes. So yeah, that's going to be a penalty coming the 31 car's way, who was at the wheel there, Farfus.
Here's the 54 car from the lead in LMGT3. 35 minutes to go, and it's slicks for Ferrari. They have rolled the dice.
Big call, this one. We've seen it not work in the hypercar category, but completely different tyre and machinery in the LMGT3. So how do the Goodyears fare?
Fastest lap of the race goes to Dries van Tor on his brand new wet weather tyres, although it just gets done for track limits.
On slicks, Augusto Farfus on his outlap, 3 seconds off in sector 2. Now they're cold slicks, but you've got half an hour to make them work. 85, the Iron Dames, in and out, fuel only.
No, slicks.
Oh, slicks as well?
And the 59.
They're all going for it.
Oh, my goodness.
This could be very interesting indeed. And what have we got? The 77 car in the hands of Ben Barker. We didn't see what tyres were on that car.
Robert Kubica I think Sebastian Buemi was behind. No, maybe he wasn't behind.
He wasn't. Just quick as we watch this battle. Lots of power for both Valkyries at that phase of the race. But here's the 83 car up alongside the Toretto is going to make that position. Robert Kubica picks up one more position to 8th place, chasing for points, chasing for the championship, chasing the 51 car.
Yeah, Kubica is in never say die mode here. He knows he's got to get as close to 51 as possible. And look at the Mustang on the outside, way out wide there. Is that beyond the white line?
Yeah, absolutely is. It will give you more performance for a few laps. A spin there for car number 7. Was there contact? We've seen this before on that part of the circuit.
Kobayashi rolling backwards.
Oh, that's why. He's on slicks.
Is that an unsafe rejoin?
No, he's just, yeah, look. So he's just going to run out of grip here. Yeah. Look at that. Hopelessly just spins around. You've got that terrible situation, a half spin that you can't catch.
But then he just meanders slowly backwards across the track. And this is the Iron Dames in a BMW sandwich. So Michelle Gatting. Now, something goes wrong here. Michelle Gatting has dropped way down the order, down to 10th place. And the BMWs are now up in 7th and 8th. He's going to have to come in off a long run-up, isn't he, and just lunge him.
But the problem is that he's got there, you would have seen that the driest line is on the outside. He's gone for the inside of 13 and muscles his way through. Yeah. Van Dorn off circuit. He left the gap open there, didn't he? He left the door open. And that's all that Molina needed. He knew he couldn't get it done in turn 12 because of the wet line on the inside. But 13 was his chance to do it, and he pounced straight away.
Yeah, he needs to make sure he's clearing away as we go to the lead battle in LMGT3. Ben Barker in the Mustang with the white nose. Richard Leitz in the turquoise and black. Porsche right behind. Bernardo Souza for Proton Competition has been awarded the Goodyear Wingfoot Award as driver of the day in the 77 car. And that is the car that still leads the race as we ride in 2nd place. There's the 92 team, Ricardo Pera. And
9 minutes.
Ricardo Pera's not going to have many fingernails left, is he?
But that car has been getting faster and faster the drier the circuit's got on the wet tyres. So for me, it just feels like a matter of time before he finds his way by. The Mustang starting to struggle in these conditions. It's been quick in every condition we've seen this weekend, apart from the last 10 minutes of this race.
Look in the background, Davide Rigon, 2:13 to 2:17.
Wow.
It's Rigon's race to lose at this point. He's got to catch them. He's going to do that in the next lap. And now those slick tyres have been switched on, because from nowhere, that is your 3rd place car.
Yeah, he's on slicks. He's got 8 minutes to overtake, catch and pass these two. This could be big fun.
There is every chance that these two cars will not finish on the podium, because catching so fast behind them, there's cars in the 210s, they're in the 217s.
Right behind them, at the hairpin, Olsen and Sato were side by side as well.
It's like we said, the GT switched their slicks tyres on first, and you're looking for those dry patches. Well, we now have the dry patches. For those that were brave to go onto the slicks, it's paying dividends. Here he comes. You're absolutely right, Graham. He's just going to sail past these two.
Davide Rigon with Sam Bird, a 3rd place finish in GTE Pro in a Ferrari was his best result here. Looks like he's going to end up on the top of the pile. He's already gone by 2nd place. He's left Richie Leitz trailing in his wake, and the Mustang's going to have to get on the brakes so much earlier here.
So the gamble, 7 minutes from paying off, but it's not paid off.
Now it's about preserving your position. The Ferrari out into the wet.
Yeah, it's the wettest part of the track, and he went a little bit wide as well on top of that. So that was a heart-in-the-mouth moment there for Rigon, but he's got it settled again. And you got so much more traction when you get onto the drier part of the circuit. You'll fly out of turn 11. He can bide his time here, just wait for it. You just get the car straight. You got so much more traction, and also you get more straight line speed when you're in a slick tyre.
Davide Rigon all over this, and again he'll have better braking at the hairpin.
Watch Sato behind, watch Van der Linden behind that.
No, that was unnecessary though. He didn't need to do that because he would have had the traction on the exit completely. So yeah, a little bit too hasty there from Regon. There was unnecessary contact.
Yeah, would have been
pit lane.
Slightly better place to just come around the hairpin and then attack down the straight. Now he's got the overlap. And he
gets onto the drier part, and that's where he needed to brake. Job done.
So closing in behind is the orange and black and Marino Sato. Kelvin van der Linde and Augusto Farfus on slicks have both gone by Dennis Olsen's Mustang as well.
They're going to be in podium positions if they can keep it clean here, because they're now on terms with the number 92 car. Tries his best to get alongside the 77. It's going to be 3 wide as they come through the final this next turn, and that might be enough for the McLaren to take one, maybe both positions to get up into second place, and he's going to do so.
The BMW coming through behind. The first of them, Kelvin van der Linde and Augusto Farfus as well. Have we lost van der Linde?
No, Farfus is 4 seconds back.
Yep.
Crosses the line for what will be their final lap, 40 seconds to go. It's the final lap of the race for race leader Kevin Estre, 7.2 seconds. Miguel Molina under 2 seconds ahead of Stoffel van Dorn. Slightly quicker, the Peugeot, but not by a margin that's going to make a difference without some kind of drama.
Yeah, I think that's why Van Dorn be kicking himself. He left the door open into turn 13 on that particular lap where Molina slipped through, because it's not like he's just lost loads of time to him. They were and still are very similar in terms of lap time.
Augusto Farfus in the 31 BMW in 4th place, but Kelvin van der Linde in 3rd in 46. Just ahead of him is Marino Sato, 2nd in LMGT3. As the leaders are on the last lap, Davide Rigon leading, but this gap is closing right down. Van der Linde with the pit between his teeth, and no time to play nice. He's going to have to go and go immediately. Slippery surface flags at the hairpin, turn 11. Safely negotiated by Kevin Estre. Heading into, for the first time today, some sunshine gleaming on the circuit of the Americas. He's heading down into the big stop at turn 12 for the final time. It has been a well-driven race by all 3 members of the number 6 Porsche crew. They have been in the hunt right from the beginning. They started on row 2 of the grid, 3rd fastest in qualifying. They have been right there battling with the Ferraris. Miguel Molina 2nd, and what a boost for for Peugeot, with 3rd and 4th places. It's a very different race from the one that everybody was expecting, and it has been absolutely packed full of drama. The checkered flag awaits in Texas. The Lone Star Le Mans 2025 will be won by Porsche Penske Motorsport as Kevin Estre brings them across the line. Victory for Porsche. 2nd place will go to Miguel Molina in the number 50 Ferrari. There he is, and Davide Rigon alongside him, winning in LMGT3 from Marino Sato. Kelvin van der Linde in 3rd spot. And in 3rd on the podium, Stoffel van Dorn for Peugeot, just ahead of Mikkel Jensen and Alessandro Pierguidi. And critically, it looks as though the 83 Ferrari will finish in 7th place behind the Cadillac of Jensen Button. There is your LMGT3 winner. It is United Autosports McLaren who win this. WRT BMW number 46 in 2nd place, and the Vista A, of course, a Ferrari, fortunately enough ahead of the 31 BMW to finish still on the podium, but they did not end up with the win that they had as they crossed the line. So lots and lots of drama, and this is the reason why contact with the 77 Mustang. Anthony Davidson, you said he had maybe been a little bit hasty in trying to make the move.
I just thought it was unnecessary at the time. Yeah, actually looking at it from the onboard, it is quite a big contact, isn't it? And as soon as that's passed to the stewards to look at from race director, they have to analyse it, and it is a non-contact sport. The reason for contact quite clearly was 54.
It is what it is. There you go, there's your podium finishers. Porsche, Ferrari, Peugeot.